What is up everyone, welcome to Dark Corners. I'm your host Dark, and in this episode of Dark Story Corner I will be telling all of you the story of Null. Enjoy. Now, we've all heard the story of the legend of Herobrine. You know, the one spirit who is said to roam and stalk you on what you thought were safe single player worlds in Minecraft. Now, I know what you're probably thinking to yourself. Herobrine isn't real. Notch said he's fake and always will be. But what if I were to tell you that Herobrine is real? However, not in the way one may think. Let me explain. About 3 years ago, I was playing in an older version of Minecraft. I think it was the alpha or beta. I can't really remember. It was a simple time back then. I was at a younger age and I didn't really think about how harmful such an innocent game like Minecraft could be. As far as the memories, however, there wasn't much. I remember my first world, my first house, things normal players would remember when they first started their game. Now I had a friend who told me about this little Herobrine rumor going around. And I thought it was kind of funny, because I thought he was joking with me. So I shrugged it off. I must admit though, I was a little bit intrigued about this silly little ghost. You probably would be too if you thought some evil guy with no eyeballs was going around attacking people in a game like Minecraft. In those days, I never recalled actually seeing Herobrine. But I saw someone who almost acted like him, but looked way different. This player was all black. You couldn't see any detail at all. He was just pitch black. I never thought much of him because he never directly came up to me and he never acted hostile. He was kind of watching, so to speak. Some time passed, and ever since I upgraded to a newer version, like the public 1.4 version for example, he kind of vanished, gone. I was a little older by then, but I still didn't think much of him. I remembered how fun the old times were, so I wanted to try and find a way to play on older versions, but I was never able to. That is, however, until Minecraft's new launcher came into place. You could actually go back to older versions, so that's exactly what I did. Keep in mind, my game was completely vanilla. I didn't have any mods installed, so I started up version 1.2.5. I believe that was the beta, and it was all fine of course, until a few days passed. That's when the spooky ghost known as Herobrine showed himself to me for the first time. After walking home from mining, I went through a little forest to the east of the location of where my wooden shack was. Because smooth lighting wasn't a thing yet, it was really dark for me. I couldn't make out much until I found some light, a very dim light. It showed in the corner of my eye. When I walked back after seeing it, I saw it was just a redstone torch, and I thought that this was just a little prank Mojang put in so everyone would stop talking about Herobrine. I looked at the torch and examined it very carefully, thinking it was just a joke, and I continued walking. When I reached my house, a sign showed up where my door was. Another prank, I thought. This sign was a little strange though. It said one word: Null. Now, if I'm not mistaken, null is usually something similar to saying not available or doesn't exist, something like that. So with my not very suspecting mind, I thought it was meant to be another joke, but kind of bugged out. I slept off the night until morning came, and when I walked out the front door, I heard something. It was like the sound of someone crying, or even shouting. I thought at some point it might have been a growl. But while the sound played, the noise it made got corrupted and it turned into a glitchy sound. I looked around, left, right, behind me, but there was no one there, when suddenly out of nowhere, I heard the sound of fall damage. I turned around as quickly as I could, and right before me was Herobrine. I was shocked. Before I could do anything, however, my game froze. In fear, I was wondering, what did I just see? At that point, I had enough. I emailed Mojang as soon as I could, and I asked them why they would put a prank like that in a game like this. But there was no response from them. I waited for about 2 months, and they didn't even apologize. They gave me a message along the lines of, "We cannot say anything or discuss this matter." I didn't want to play in the old version of Minecraft anymore, so that's why I updated to 1.7.2. I started a new world, and I spawned in a plains biome. I explored all the new biomes that got added in this update. but I never got around to any interesting ones, so I decided to just give up. I stopped searching and just made a small base, and after I built it, I logged off and I didn't play again for at least a couple of days, because, of course, school was a priority. When I eventually got around to playing again, I went into my world, but I wasn't in front of my new house anymore. Instead, I was deep underground. I was so deep I could even see some bedrock below me. I turned my brightness all the way up so I could see where the hell I was, and in front of me was a narrow hallway. It didn't have any light, so I decided to just walk around for a bit, and after at least 5 minutes I got tired and I just wanted to turn back. But when I turned around, I realized there was a wall of stone blocking my path. When did that get there? It wasn't long after this that I saw another redstone torch, and I was thinking to myself, this is just great. I continued my journey through this narrow tunnel. More torches started to appear, so I just followed them, hoping they would lead somewhere. I reached a dead end, but I saw a sign there. When I started to read the sign, I heard another glitchy sound, and it almost sounded like a voice calling for help, but the audio was cut out. I was scared this time. I wasn't even sure if it was a prank anymore, and I didn't want to turn around. So I just kept looking at the sign. It looked like there were some Swedish words in there, but I couldn't read it, so I decided to just make a screenshot and quit out of the game. I quickly looked up the screenshot on my PC and I wrote everything down, and then I went to Google Translate and pasted everything in there. The translation said, "Help, Null is here. Tell everyone about me." I hesitated, but before even thinking it through, I opened the game again. This time, however, I wasn't in the tunnel anymore, but I was high in the sky with nothing in my inventory. There was just one piece of bedrock holding me up. I looked around, and there he was, Herobrine. I didn't know what to do, so I just kept looking at him. But for every second I spent looking at him, my game started bugging and glitching even more. Herobrine even started to chat with me. I had no idea what he was saying, it was all in Swedish, so all I did was take screenshots, until my game suddenly crashed. And just like last time, I wrote everything down and pasted it into Google Translate, and these messages were even worse than the one I found before. This is what they said. "I need help. Do you remember playing during the golden age of Minecraft? If so, do you remember the man you were greeted by every now and then? The one who was as black as night itself? Do not take this monster lightly. I am trapped. You can blame him. I'm sure you've heard of stories about me, how I tortured innocent players, but it's not true. People fear me, but I should not be feared. That man you've seen before, he is different. He should be feared. He is evil. Please tell everyone I am trapped. Maybe you can help me. This is no longer your game, it's his game." I couldn't believe what I was reading. Who was trapped? How did they get trapped? And how am I supposed to help them? I just stopped thinking about it and decided the best thing to do was to get right into the game and try to help Herobrine. But when I started the game up, all my worlds were gone. I tried to create a new one and see if I could find Herobrine again, but with no luck. To this day, I still haven't been able to help him. And I still don't know how Null trapped him. That was the story of Null and also kind of Herobrine. So what did you think of it? Would you like to see me read more stories? Let me know in the comments section. And let me know about some stories you'd like to see on this channel. I'll gladly look into them. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video. And if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Dark signing out.